37 points in a single game against a tier 1 opposition. I mean, put some respect on Sacha's name, people. My name's Shanair, and this is the All Things Rugby review of the Rugby Championship Round 5. Before we get to the box and Sacha's performance, let's go over to Eden Park and talk about New Zealand's record defending their fortress. Joe Schmidt and Harry Wilson must be banging their head against the wall after, again, giving the opposition a 20-point head start before they decide to play. I don't know what is going on with the psychology of this Australian team, but someone needs to get in there and fix this. Let's start with the anthems. Caleb Clarke getting brought back into the team. Caleb Clarke's dad performing the national anthem. Caleb Clarke scoring first at Eden Park as well. Maybe this is where I went wrong with my career. Dad, you should have come and just sang a little bit more. The All Blacks started how they did against the Springboks, moving the ball side to side really well, and the variety they show in the middle, with every forward being able to pull that pass out the back. Different runners running different lines. It was incredible. And one side you had Caleb Clarke, obviously got on the scoreboard nice and early, and the other one was Leroy Carter, who every time he got the ball made good meters and also got his second try in 2 games. We mentioned in the preview that Cam Roigard would be such an important factor to play in this game, and we saw it. The breakdown just got a lot quicker. He was getting good ball off to Barrett, and we saw him get under the sticks for a try early on as well. That gave New Zealand a great start. But again, Australia, what's going on? I don't understand why they felt the need to just let this team run riot, and then they go, I know, we can start playing now. Not for the first time in this championship, we saw an incredible physical start from both sides, and it resulted in a number of substitutions early on again. For the All Blacks, Beauden Barrett has been an absolute mainstay, pulling the strings no matter what position he's in, and they've had D-Mac on the bench because he can cover multiple positions. But when Barrett had to go off with a shoulder injury, D-Mac coming on, D-Mac's probably sitting on the bench going, at what point am I going to come on and cover fullback? Am I dealing with the kicks? Now he's got to come on at 10 and play, and he can do it. We've seen him do it for the Chiefs all last year, but it really did disrupt New Zealand. And as for the Wallabies, we were calling for Tate McDermott to start, but unfortunately, he also got an injury early on when he got caught at the back of the ruck. Legs split open. It's either a groin or a hamstring tear, but very unfortunate. It managed to get Ryan Lonergan on the pitch nice and early, who again had an awesome season, and we said this, played well against the Lions in the series for the Brumbies as well. He come on and did well. What that probably does mean for the Wallabies though, is Nick White's already been called back into camp to just help with training. This guy is just on a revolving door at the moment, whether he's retiring, staying, playing, going on holiday, so let's see if he gets back onto pitch. I've always been a big Jock fan, from when he was younger for the Wallabies to his stint in England and the resurgence he's had over the last year for Crusaders and the Wallabies. I was calling for him to start. What happened though, no one could predict. He was missing kicks to touch, which gave All Blacks the best platform to attack from. And even from kickoff, he kicked one out straight on the full, which is an absolute coach killer, and just gifted the All Blacks territory and possession. But from an early 20 points to 3 lead, the All Blacks managed to give Australia the ball time and time again, and we're going into half-time closer than ever at 2017. But going into the second half, the All Blacks brought on their firepower. Patrick Tuipulotu returned to the pitch, and he was an absolute monster carrying. They brought on Peter Larkai, who was an absolute nuisance around a breakdown, and Fletcher Newell to bring on and just secure the scrum was awesome. With the game in the balance, a couple of penalties to New Zealand, Tizano came on for Australia, and again, we saw what he can do around the breakdown. He got turnovers on one side of the ball, and he ended up scoring when he had it as well. What we haven't seen this competition so far is the All Blacks of the past that the last 20 minutes can just turn it up a notch. The game was really tight, and if it wasn't for a yellow card for Harry Potter right near the end of the game could have gone either way. But Harry Potter goes off, All Blacks get the ball, and they ended up going under the sticks to run away with it at the end. So we're halfway through round 5. New Zealand have got the advantage, and they go top of the log. Now let's go over to Durban for what was the most incredible single-player performance I've seen probably since Dan Carter against the Lions. Again, we knew it would be a physical battle up front, And we saw discipline just go out the window in the first 10 minutes, with the teams just exchanging penalty after penalty and Argentina getting a slight lead. With the Springboks in possession and moving up the pitch, we see an absolute classic Springbok try as Malcolm Marks goes over from close range to get the lead. But then, big brain fart time from Colby. Now, I know I give Colby a lot of stick, but I set the bar for him so high because I've seen what he can do. He tormented England for years. We saw him charge down Ramos in the World Cup. We've seen him throwing at a line out, let alone what he can do with the ball. But this one was the worst thing I think I've ever seen. Maybe the worst try I've ever seen, especially in the recent years. Argentina put the ball through and Colby does sit down for a goal line dropout. But then, I can't imagine he did this on purpose. But rather than just giving the ball to Sacha or to Valimsa for the dropout, he decides he's going to drop kick it forward. Now, what happens after is just comical. As he's drop kicked it, it's gone onto the pitch and Chocobares is 5 meters back, so technically he's onside. He picks the ball up, goes under and scores, and everyone's confused. Did he take the dropout? Is that a try? We go upstairs and it's clear it's a goal line dropout. He's dropped the ball and punted it forward, and then Chocobares has picked it up and scored. There we go. I heard this on a podcast be described as the rugby's version of an own goal, and honestly, I don't think we'll ever see this again, but the fact that it happened to the Springboks after they tried to innovate with midfield lineouts and calling scrums from marks, we're happy for it. But if anything, all that did was piss the Springboks off, and they go up the other side of the pitch, and let's start the Sacha show. Let's talk about Sacha's first try. Now, we know how good Sacha can be kicking from hand, and he spots the space, and it looks like he's going for a 50-22. But out of nowhere, it doesn't even look like he's at top speed. Sacha comes through chasing his own kick and manages to dot down for a try. Not only does he chase his own kick and beat the defence, he's got the time and the presence of mind to tell Moody, no, I've got this. Moody is no slouch, by the way, so you can imagine how fast Sacha must have been running to chase down his own kick. Not only that, slots the conversion as well like it's nothing. So after that, Argentina get the ball back and we're thinking, right, let's see what they can do. They end up with a beautiful drive in maul and it looks like it's held up over the line. Whistle goes, Gardner ends up saying that Marks is coming from the side, penalty try, yellow card, advantage back to Argentina. Now, what people didn't see is Sacha runs straight up to the ref and he's like, how much time on the clock? Have we got time for kickoff? We are not going into halftime losing. And he was right. They take the restart, they manage to regather the ball, and they work their way up the pitch. Then, Sacha gets the ball, he's about 10 meters out, in no space whatsoever, and he's getting shut down by the defence. Bam, step off the right, bam, step off the left, and he goes under the sticks to give the Boks the advantage going into half-time. This kid is incredible, right? We saw what he could do in the URC all season. We saw the little kick and the flick up he did, but people still were like, he's hot, he's cold, he's not 10, we've got Pollard, we've got Libok. Nah, Sacha is the real deal and people need to realise he's going to be World Player of the Year one day. So we get into the second half. The Boks have obviously got the advantage, still got a player in the bin note. What happens? Sacha gets the ball in space this time, and we've just seen what he can do with no space. Now he's got time on the ball, he's got Colby out wide, beautiful little kick over, Colby goes under. Sacha is pulling strings here. And for those that are still hating on Sacha, now we get to see what else he can do. We end up with Sacha at the base of the ruck playing 9. We're thinking, he's just going to give the ball. He's got Valimsa outside him. No, dummies the pass, spins like he's in a phone box, bam, through to defenders, under the 6 again. The guy has just got a hat trick of different tries, try assists. He's slotting everything from everywhere against Argentina, who this year have beaten the Lions, they beat Australia, and they beat New Zealand. People don't understand how good this kid is. Now, don't get me wrong, Argentina still showed their class. Malia ends up picking up the ball and scooting, gets past a few, makes a little gap, tips it off to Albanos, who's come on from the bench, and he goes under. And again, we're thinking game on. Argentina are a class side, and when people put them down, they don't realise how good this team is. But the Boks are just better, and we now see this again. This time, after a pretty quiet game by his standards, Dealhanda goes God mode and just starts handing off people. He's got defenders with him. They're holding onto his shorts and he's just marching forward. He ends it up this close to the line. Morne Vandenberg picks up, goes, advantage again box. So we've seen Sacha's been good. Now we're going to go for Libbok's time. And again, I've always said Libbok's a class player. Yes, last year he had some issues kicking. He was still kicking at a decent percentage though. And his kick from hand is still as good as any other fly half. And I'll argue with that with anyone. He picks up the ball and he floats a beautiful pass over to Ethan Hooker, who again has been such a talent this year. And it's great to see him now do it on the box stage. Hooker probably should give the 2-on-1 though, but he ends up stepping inside, gives a beautiful offload for Peter Steffetoy to go round. Now we're just seeing the box hammer down, foot down, let's go, all gas. Libbok wasn't done there. He thought, nah, Sacha's getting too much attention. So the ball's loose. He picks it up and he's running backwards. And we're like, Libbok, where you going? Give it off to a forward. No, he ends up ducking through a tackle, steps another, 1-on-1, chip over, run and score. Man, people don't realise the depth that the Springboks have got is outrageous. And yes, we did see New Zealand put on a show how to beat them, but the depth they have got, no doubt, by the 27 Men's World Cup, this team is going to be absolutely unstoppable. Now with that win, we go into the last round of the championship with the Boks with the advantage. As mentioned, they have a chance to go back-to-back winners of this competition, and the only thing that can stop them is if they lose to Argentina next week at Allianz Twickenham and New Zealand win by I think it's around 60 or 70 points against Australia. Can we see anything other than that happening? Probably not. So I'm going to be down at Allianz Twickenham next week for All Things Rugby. Make sure you follow us across all social platforms to stay up to date with everything that's happening in the world of rugby. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Shanair, and this has been All Things Rugby.